So the tool of personality is that we all have a mix of character traits and strengths and challenges. And a successful mentor is someone who has found a niche in the world which takes advantage of their strengths and doesn't always focus on their weaknesses. So, I've been blessed to enter the rabbinate where my complete inability with numbers is not really that important, right? And the fact that I move in the world in a kind of intuitive, emotional way, that's actually great in the rabbinate. And so part of what a mentor does then is to offer their personality, not simply their analysis. It's not just intellect, and it's not just a set of knowledge that you have to transmit. It's really being able to offer your whole personality and how you live in the world and how you navigate and negotiate the world as a way of inviting the person who's turned to you as a mentor to then learn to do the same. The gift of presence is that all the personality in the world doesn't help if you're not available. So I remember a wonderful, wonderful teacher who was incredibly insightful and very gifted, but always too busy to meet. And ultimately, I had to stop trying to meet that person and turn to other people. This person would have been a great mentor, but he couldn't be present. It's also presence in a second way, which is to be truly with the person while you're with the person. That while you're with them, you're not thinking about, okay, after this is over, I have to do that, and then I need to make sure that gets taken care of, and when do I pick up the kids, and when. You really have to say, for our half hour, for our 45 minutes, for our lunch together, I'm yours. And I'm totally there. And all of my resources are brought to bear to whatever it happens between us and whatever you place on the table. So that gift of presence means you can't be a mentor if you're not willing to make time for the person you're mentoring, and you can't be a mentor if once you've made the time, you're not actually emotionally and physically present. There's a great line in the Torah. God tells Moses, when he's going to give him the Ten Commandments, God says, Ale el Hahar, go up onto the mountain, ve'eh sham, and be there. And the commentators say, what does that mean? What, you go up on the mountain? Of course he's going to be there if he's up on the mountaintop. But the answer is no. It's entirely possible to get yourself up onto the mountaintop, and then the minute you're on the mountaintop to start thinking about the technical tasks of getting off the mountain. And what God says is, I can't give you Torah that way. You have to get to the top of the mountain, and then you have to be truly present. You have to be completely focused and completely there for as long as you're there, and that's the context in which Torah can be transmitted. That's true for mentors as well. Only if you give the gift of real presence can something really happen. Withdrawing to make room for growth, I use the Kabbalistic concept of Simsum. Simsum is the idea that when God wanted to create the world, God is everything. Kabbalah doesn't really know this kind of radical Platonic separation of God and world, or spirit and body. Everything is oneness. So for God to want to create the material world, that's impossible if God is everything and everywhere. So God had to withdraw and leave an empty space into which something else could be poured. And that withdrawing into an empty space is called Simsum. The mentor has to do that as well. As with parenting, it's quicker for you to solve the problem yourself. But the problem is, a parent who always solves their kids' every problem is raising a monster, because that child is permanently incapable of solving the problem, because the subliminal message is, you're incompetent. You can't handle this. Let me do it. And a mentor needs to be able to back off just enough to let the person carry the burden and let the person take the risk, and provide enough support to say, I'll be here to help you succeed, but I'm not carrying this for you. You have to carry it yourself. You have to make this work on your own, and I will be a resource to you to maximize your chance of success and to give you insight as you go. But that withdrawing is a very important act, because otherwise it's not mentoring, it's smothering.